moving into this more practical guidance piece, we had a few questions that we'll go through that were asked in advance that were more into this kind of practical piece of the strategy. I wanted to start with looking at more of the kind of common mistakes that we see once that strategy is up and running. So we've talked about the foundational pieces there, but starting with yourself, Julia, what are some of the biggest challenges you see actually in the process when people have started up on their strategy? They've got their collateral, they know what they want to start doing. What are some of the biggest mistakes you see made, and how can people keep on top of that?
Yeah, so I think firstly, just picking up on that kind of persona point, so not having a good understanding or a clear view of what makes a good fit target account. So being very defined in the criteria you're using to kind of judge those accounts, and also the decision-making unit. And we'll talk more about this later, but having kind of all the teams aligned, and a big mistake is not getting the buy-in of those teams or of the executive, because obviously, your teams are going to be running the program, so getting their buy-in and the alignment is absolutely essential. I think another one, and picking up on what kind of Alex and Graham have said, is thinking about ABM as it's a long-term strategy. A lot of people think it's a short-term strategy and they're going to be able to implement it and off we go into the sunset and everything's going to be hunky-dory. But actually it takes a lot of time and energy and planning, so being really strategic. And I think calling kind of a program an ABM program, but actually in reality just doing the same that you've always done, and applying a kind of ABM kind of program to one to many, but actually it's your spray and pray broadcast marketing that you've done before. And a big mistake is not having a clear go-to-market strategy. So, you've got your accounts defined, you've got your target clients, is, what channels are going to be the best for what stage of the funnel with what message. So I think what people need to keep on top of is the same as it's always been. So it's doing the basics thoroughly and well, spending sufficient time on research, and getting the buy-in and the alignment of those teams. So having the pillars of the program in place. And that might mean even circling back to the very basics of buyer personas, value proposition, your messaging platform, all those good things, because they very much come to the fore in ABM.